like it.
You may find that after doing it for 30 days, it'll change, or you may find that that's not true. Either way, it's a great exercise.
Yeah, no, it's a good exercise.
It is good to make yourself do things that you don't want to do. Oh, Juliet's here. Yay. Awesome. Okay. Hi, Juliet. Welcome. So Juliet, I think you were in yesterday's class. So no. Yeah, so yesterday. Welcome. So oh, you know what? Maybe you guys didn't do this exercise. I did this exercise within ink with my Sunday students. So
I have not seen it. I've seen it as an ink drawing on the ink thread, but that's all.
And that's it. Okay, so then that means my Sunday students did it. All right, so this is the first time I've introduced this to you guys. I like this because it's a color photo. It has white, which is important to deal with in watercolor. We're going to deal with that all important, subject, the cup. And but it's pretty much one color. Now, of course, you don't have to do it as one color. You can add colors if you want to. But I'm going to do it as a demo in one color. So what do I have here? I have all my gear.
I'll bet Diana will use lots of color.
Yes.
Yes. I'm continuing with my California girl painting.
Peace. Diana found a bunch of pictures of herself in LA 20 years ago, and she's painting them. They're awesome. Yes, they're really great. So she'll send those along. So as usual, I've got my gear. I was looking for this is my favorite brush to use with watercolor. I like it because it's different than the brush I use in acrylic and oil. And just to give you the difference, I want to show you how different these are. This is my favorite kind of brush to use with oil and acrylic painting. Scruffy, scraggly, and this is like the polar opposite. I don't know if you can see, but like all the brushes, the bristles come together up in a nice little line. I think the similarity between them is they make square, choppy marks, which I like. But I just wanted to kind of share that with you, how much watercolor changes things for me. And I love this brush because I can make like a sort of thin lines with it. And then I can do these beautiful choppy strokes. And it's very smooth. There's not a hair out of place, right? I love that. So it's interesting how a different medium will totally feed you in a different way. So we're gonna start with a pencil drawing. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to take this down so I don't knock it out. Okay. So remember, when you're working on your cup, remember that foreshortening rule of cups that we have. Have you guys worked on this? Have you not worked on this? Maybe you haven't worked on this. The rule of cups, I'll review it as I go through. I think I put this too close to the edge. Let's do this. Try to pay attention to this particular cup and what it's doing. Well, I'm really having trouble seeing. There we go. So it's like kind of straight here, and then it goes square down. It's like a fat cup. If I wanted to, I could even kind of measure. The width here is the same as virtually up to here, from the bottom of the cup to here. So if I go any further than that, if I want my cup to sort of be the appropriate fatness, yeah, I have to bring it up here. I'm telling you this because you guys have been through a lot of training. So these are good things to remember. If you're more of a beginner, I'm not going to be so fussy about it, but check here. Yeah, that's better. Okay, and then remember, as always, that we're trying to kind of, we're gonna leave the light areas undone. Now, I have a student who did this in masking fluid. If you want to use masking fluid, you're welcome to. I like to encourage people not to use masking fluid because I want you to learn how to do things in as simple a way as possible with your hand. But I would not, I gotta say, she got an amazing result from the masking fluid.
That's the one we saw at the ink drawing.
Yeah. Rebecca Dinsmore, who is my sort of student savant of the moment. Wow, she just really is. Rebecca has had a brain tumor and an aneurysm. And so she didn't come to art until, she said after she had her aneurysm, everything changed for her. Like color, sound, like she began seeing colors everywhere. She began dreaming. So when you look at Rebecca's artwork, understand that like she was totally shut off from that side of herself until about a year ago.
Wow.
Never had done any art at all. You know, middle-aged lady with a brain tumor. What's that?
She's good.
Oh, she's really good.
Yeah.
I don't often say that because all of you, I think all of you are good, but I gotta say, Rebecca is kind of exceptional. And I think there's something about having a trauma like that, right? So you guys can do this with me, or you can just watch.
We don't want the trauma to get there.
Right. So, we don't want the trauma to get her. And we want to admire, and I love the fact that like it was this crazy, you know, disease or this physical thing that happened that kind of opened her up. It's like it blew her mind open. And imagine like, it's, you know, it's like you, Janet, like, you know, not doing art until you're in your 50s. Honestly, it's like me not doing art until I'm 30, until I was 30. It's kind of ridiculous.
30 is just a baby.
Right? Yes, but still, you know, yes, yeah, but still, I hear you, I agree with you, and yet, so I'm really trying to pay attention to the width of this cup, and I'm trying to preserve the light areas so I don't accidentally paint on them. There is like kind of an area here, underneath the cup here, there's this very light reflective area here. So the idea of outlining these is that you are going to keep them completely white. There's even some reflected areas depending on how much detail you want to get into. And this cup actually has a kind of a dividing line. I don't know if it's a ridge or what, but you'll see it's kind of darker up here than it is down here underneath these places. All right, but the tricky part really to this exercise is the saucer. So I'm going to see if I can sketch out some things so that you guys can see them. I'm going to show you. Okay, so I'm going to show you, this is the halfway point of the saucer. Can you notice how much smaller this side is than this side? So this side, this saucer, this part of the saucer is bigger because it's coming towards us. But that's not the only thing that's happening. Just like the road, right? If we're drawing a road and we're coming towards it, right? Just like the road, this whole back half has a different shape and slant than this front half. Can you see it as I draw the lines in? Let's see if I can get these in. I don't know if this paper will take it, but let's see if I can do a red line so you can really see it. I want you to really see this. So look at how on the back here, how short this leg is and how much it kind of angles in. And look at in the front here, how much wider and more rounded this side is. So I recommend you kind of break this up into segments to really get it right. To be honest with you, even I always struggle with it too. So I'm not like casting aspersions here about anyone's skill, but I'm trying to draw these things. I really find that like drawing these things in pieces helps me get it right. So see, I've done this kind of back half. I'm looking at the shape here. I'm looking at the relationship of the saucer to the cup. I'm really seeing how narrow and kind of this whole back half is like much narrower. And so up here, and this is a really hard thing to explain, so just do your best with it, you know? Don't feel like you have to totally nail this. I just feel like we've talked about it a little bit, so this is a good time to discuss the drawing. And if you've missed, and if you guys might not have gotten the cup perspective lesson. Did you get the cylinder perspective lesson? If you did not, yeah, I think that's pretty good. Probably have to fix it a little bit, but if you did not, it's on the website. And I would recommend going to it because we draw a cup and deal with that perspective problem. There's also this cup kind of curves up. So there's this guy happening here. There's this happening here. There's this bottom area, which is almost all in shadow, but I'm going to sketch it in just so I don't forget about it. Anyway, this saucer is really the trickiest thing and the thing you'll struggle with the most. So I'm validating that, and I'm trying as I go along and do this myself to give you some tips. Notice I'm also trying to separate out the medium, the lights, the darks. Here, there's a couple of light sweeps here. There's a kind of big light highlight there. Remember, your lights are not really going to, and then there's this funky steam kind of coming out, which is a little bit tricky to do. So we have a couple of techniques for dealing with that. There's also a light area here and a darker area here on the inside of the cup. If you remember correctly, anybody know what direction the light is coming from? What can you tell? How is the light hitting this cup? What direction is it coming from? The main light.
The upper right corner.
Yeah,
but it's kind
exactly.
of a low light.
Yeah. It's kind of coming this way, and we can see that because we can see on the outside of the cup here, there's this light area, turns around. There's reflected light other places. Notice in a cylinder, an open cylinder, that when the light is coming from this direction, on the inside of the cylinder, the light spot is always on the opposite side of where it lays on the outside of the object. So while at the outside of the object, the light is here, notice that the light is here on the inside. That is always true. Anyway, I've got it as well as I really feel like dealing with it today. And then there's just simply this dark line. Yeah, so what I like about this is it's really a fairly mono-colored drawing. In truth, you could do this. We did this as an acrylic exercise or an oil, no, maybe an oil exercise. think it's the first oil painting exercise with my Sunday class last year. And I told people, pick the color that you want to make the cup. You can make it any color you want. So if you want to do that, you can do that here too. But you still need to pay attention to value. So you can make some decisions about how you want to paint this, what colors you want to add, but still pay attention to value. So now I've got my drawing done. I'm going to stick to kind of basics because quite frankly, I don't have the energy for much else. You'll see here, I have my paint palette. Oh, I don't have my blankie. Here, hold on. Let me get a blankie. Which you will, I call my blankie because you will grip it tighter and tighter as you rub around. And in fact, I've got my water. I've got my favorite brush. I've got 1 or 2 liner brushes. I love this little set. I use watercolors in the tube, so I can just kind of constantly replenish it. Right now, what I'm doing with my blankie, I'll probably have to get another blankie, is I'm kind of cleaning off the area where I'm going to do my mixing, so I don't get too much stuff in here. Sometimes you'll really like the color that's here, like it might be just the gray you need. Often it'll be grayish because you'll be mixing many colors, but very often you'll want to start with kind of a clean slate. And I'm going to start with burnt umber. And I'm going to test it here before I go into my drawing or my painting. I want to make sure it's reading on the paper correctly. It's not too dark, because what is the thing we know about watercolor? If you go too dark, you cannot go back. So the one thing we cannot preserve with watercolor is making things lighter. It's really hard to do that. So you want to avoid, we're going to start with our darks, but we're going to start with our darks lightly, very lightly. So I'm just starting right in here with this kind of dark coffee color, but notice how lightly I'm going. I'm going to go over later with more darkness, but I just want to start getting in some value differentiation. And I want to start to get a feeling of, I want to get a feeling of depth. And I know I can do that quickest if I go to my darkest areas and I outline them. So if I'm going to do that, my next job is going to be to mix burnt umber with a little bit of ultramarine blue. Does that make sense to you guys? Is that surprising? Or are you like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense? I want my shadows to be brown. And I want, but I'm mixing a blue with an orange basically to create a grayed dark. So here, where the shadow is, see how that kind of reads as a slightly sort of more, it's a dark, it's darker than here for now, and it's a shadow. Might even go a little bit lighter. In fact, see, blankie, totally useful. I'm going to lighten this color just a bit before I lay it on, because I know I can go darker, but I know I can't go back. So there's this dark shadow here, kind of dark. Here, kind of under here. You can see you can sort of see the, whatchamacallit, the bottom of the star slayer kind of disappearing, but it's still mostly black or brown, dark. And like I said, I welcome you to shift up the colors in this. So if this brown is not exciting for you, change it up. Make your cup any color you want to. It'll totally work. But your values still need to be the same. And look at how this painting is already starting to feel lively. And notice also how light these dry once they dry. So I'm going here, I'm going to the darkest areas, which means I'm going to hit up the I'm going to hit up the background as well up here because that's really dark. And that's going to be a little bit of work here. Mix enough color here so I can just go in. As I get towards the smoke, I'm going to go a little bit lighter. Can you see that? So I may bring in the dark, but I want the option of having this kind of lighter wispy color, even lighter maybe. I want a color, but I don't want something as dark as what's around it. Yeah, I was, who was it? I was talking to Natalia today because she was in the earlier class, the beginning class. And she said, what do you do to avoid like artist block? And I said, you know, this week I've had to do art often in a class setting. I mean, I've had my own art to do, which is right now in oil and acrylic. But I've had to do art in 5 different mediums. I taught a pastel landscape class on Monday, and then I taught a ink water class on Tuesday, and then I taught a beginning drawing class on Wednesday, and then I taught an ink class on Wednesday night, and now I'm doing a watercolor class, and tomorrow I'm going to do about, you know, and then I'm going to do a live demo on Instagram working with an oil painting. So it's almost impossible to be blocked when you're working in so many mediums. So there's a real value to the mediums, to, you know, to sort of learning the mediums and doing the mediums, even though you're not always feeling like you know your footing. So see how I'm preserving this inner, I can make this smoke darker later if I want to, but right now I'm trying to make a distinction here. Right now, I'm just trying to get some value differentiation. I think it's working. And this is a very charming little painting subject. No matter what color you do it in, it's really cute. And I'll be finished in a few minutes, and then I'll take a look at what you guys are doing. Juliet, I'll add you to the thread. I think Jessica, you're already on, if you're here yet. Yeah, I like that. I think that works. This is definitely lighter, and it's warmer. I'm going to get rid of the blue here. I'm moving over to burnt sienna, which is a warmer color and kind of a lighter color. Let's see what happens when yeah, that's really nice. Oh, look what happens when I meet an edge that's not dry. I can have a little bleed out. So it takes a few minutes for watercolor to dry. So if you want to avoid edges, you can wait till it dries. I kind of instinctively go right to edges because I know that that's how my painting is going to sing the most quickly. If I go to where one edge meets another, you can already tell that I need to darken here, but I'm not going to worry about that. Look at this. This has lightened to about the same value as this. Like, it gets even lighter, so I'm going to add a little bit of yellow here to my burnt sienna, and more water to make it lighter. So there's 2 ways to make paint lighter. One is to mix in a lighter color like yellow, in this case, this warm color. But the biggest thing is just to get more water and test. Before I start working on these more subtle midtones, I want to make sure I have my darks in.
Jessica is in the waiting room.
thank you. Oh, and Dia De Jong is too. Thank you. Okay, hold on. Sorry. Right. Right. Hey, Jess. Thank you. Sorry, when I'm in the zone, she's still not in yet. Okay, she's connecting. She's connecting. Great. And using her kids thing. So, and notice this is looking, the edge is looking a little bit hinky. So we're going to work on that in the next layer. I'm going to just sort of stick to this brown cup, sort of white, brownish white cup that we have. So I'm going to keep working with burnt umber and blue. I'm going to go with much lighter layers. In fact, before I even go into these midtones here or the cup itself, I'm going to get this dark as darker. So I'm going in with more blue. Hey, Jess, you in? And I'm going to go back in.
I'm in, thank you.
Excellent. Sorry about that. I got totally caught up in my demo, and
I knew you were demoing.
So you see how I'm starting to pull those darks in, and I can do the same thing. I can go back with the same color here. I want to preserve this light little rim here. Now I'm starting to get a little bit more
Leah,
action. Yes.
Jessica is waiting to be let in.
She's in.
Oh, okay. I just saw the link.
I'm in, thank you.
Oh, you are.
She's in. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So you see now I'm starting to sort of push these darks. I can now think about, and I'll probably look at how light this got. So I might as well run another layer. This is burnt umber and blue, ultramarine blue, just to keep things simple. You do not have to do that. You can make your own decisions about color, but I want your values. I want your values to stay the same. So this is what Kyoko was asking all the time in the interview. She kept saying, Leah, you kept saying art heals. What do you mean by that? And we got into a very interesting discussion about it. Because there's so many layers of it, right, guys? I don't have to tell you. Art heals. It's empowering to be able to do it. It's relaxing to be able to sink into something else. And I've said, I really realized as I was talking to her, you know, right now, it's one of the few things we have that is not a judgmental, critical issue. There are things that you need to do that will, you know, give you the effects that you want. But I was interested in that. Okay, so hold on. So I'm going to try and with a little bit of brown and blue, either one, do a much lighter mid-tone back here. There's a kind of swooping. I'm not going to get into all the detail of the wood here. You are welcome to do that. I don't want to waste your guys' time watching me do that. It's totally not a waste if you do it, but I think watching me do it is silly. All right, so now I'm going to start dealing with the shadow of the cup, and that's a similar value, this kind of brown and blue, but very watery and light. I'm going to try and not get too, it's easy to get too dark on this. So that's what you kind of want to avoid. Remember, we can go darker later. And remember also that it's darker up here with these light spots. And it's lighter, so I'm dipping my brush in the water and coming down here. And then there's this light side that's very important to keep in place. I want to darken my coffee. That needs to get a lot darker. So once again, I'm going back in with blue and brown. So I'm pretty much using variations of all the different blues and browns. You can mix. I'm using more brown because coffee is kind of warmer. So before I start adding in sort of my darker layers in my cup, and I might go just a touch darker here. Not too dark. Oh, blanky. Nope, I think I'll be okay. Oh. The handle has some dark. So now you're really paying attention to midtones. So you do the cup last because you really need to define the darkest areas so that you don't do your cup as too dark. That makes sense to everybody? It's a sort of danger of the cup getting too dark. There's some areas of the cup that are pretty dark. Of course, I'm having the extra dripping problem. Is anybody changing up the colors?
Not yet.
Okay. You're welcome to do that. What am I doing here? Anything different? I want to kind of get a sort of soft. I can see that this like little blick here, this little white spot is lighter than the actual light part of the cup. So I'm trying to get a kind of light area in, which I got by mixing a little bit of blue with orange. Boy, it might be too dark. More water. Yeah, there we go. And notice how my steam is starting to look kind of steamy. Steamy. I'm going to go in on the inside of the back here and make that a little bit darker. I'm going to kind of try and work the edge of this. It's a little too ragged for me. Right now, that's the bird seed. Oops, I have to get some more. See how I went in there with the edge of my brush, probably too light. Yikes. But I wanted a stronger dark line. It was looking a little too raggedy. So now I'm going to kind of pull that up into my tabletop. So I'm trying to create a kind of smooth edge. I don't really have one anywhere else. So now might be a good time to kind of create smooth edges. I might darken this just a little bit. Maybe this just a little bit more. Yeah. Oh, don't want to lose my little white spot here. So now it's just this balancing act of lights, darks. You might also want to get into something like, I don't know, like a charcoal pencil or a watercolor pencil. Would it be a bad thing here to introduce in? And now I'm going to bring in a slightly darker layer of the steam kind of coming over. And then I'm going to make it.
What did you use for the steam initially? You just left it white? Is that what you did?
No, I just did a very soft gray.
Okay.
So everything else here was this kind of this blue and brown color. And then I just lightened it with water. So
Okay.
it's not white, but it's definitely, it's got some of the original color that's around it.
Okay.
Yeah. And do I really know what I'm doing here? Not perhaps that much. So I'm trying to like, so if you'll notice, I'm kind of trying to darken it a little bit around the edge, but also bleed it in a little bit. So it's not so strong. So it feels more like a background thing happening. I could feel this would be something that would be easy to lose. I think for me, I should probably stop here. Okay, let me get a little bit darker here. And see what you guys are what you guys are working on. So maybe I will stop here. I'll add everybody who needs to be added to the chat. Here, I'll probably even leave the meeting. Oops. Okay, how do I do that? Oh yes, tap it. I'm getting a little better at balancing the tech, but not that much. All right, where's our WhatsApp thread? So I know Jessica's in there. Grant, that's looking pretty good. Good.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. This is and Juliet. Let me get you in here. Oops.
Are you going to give us the picture back?
Yeah, I will. Let me actually put it up big for you.
Okay.
Do I have it up? Nope, of course I don't. Let me go grab it and I'll get it for you. When I saw it, it was upside down. So it told me that the last class I had, I was totally making them do it upside down. Does anybody want to look at this upside down or?
Not yet.
Okay. Tomorrow, all we're going to do in class is draw upside down. So it should be fun in the class it is at this time here. Come on, you finish. All right, here we are. Let me put this up big so you can really see it. I have figured out recently a way to share my screen. It looks really great with the, there you go. Is that good?
Perfect.
Okay. All righty. All right, I think I have all of you. I'm going to take a picture of mine and my setup here. Ugh, mine's kind of a mess, but. It's good with the values. It's funny, on the one hand, I find like watercolor is really tough. It requires a kind of precision that other mediums don't. But on the other, do you also feel yourself kind of loosening a little bit? Anybody else feel that? I don't know if it's maybe it's the combination of having the strong lines of the pencil and the sort of watery color of the brush that just creates a different mood. It's interesting. Anybody find this harder or easier or more enjoyable than other things or less?
I'm loving it.
Yeah, I can see that. And it's like the way you love ink. It's flowy. Okay, let me send this over before I forget. Coming your way, Jean. Yeah, actually, this much teaching does put me in a little bit of a spacey place. Just I'm like, all right, what material am I using now? What is happening? What's going on?
Well, yeah, I'm a fan of being spacey. I think it's okay.
It's great. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's much better than being angry.
Yes, it's true.
Leah, could you talk a little bit more about watercolor technique? Because
What?
I'm daubing away here, but what I'm finding is when I'm painting on a new layer, or I mean, my brush is not hugely wide, but I'm getting a lot of kind of brush marks.
Right. Well, you will get those. So part of the way to avoid more brush marks is to use a bigger brush, but also to apply more smoothly. So, I can't look at your thing, but let me see. I'm going to put so here's what I would say. Here, I'll get a line climb. I'm going to get back on with my phone. And then when I'm there, I'll have you find the screen on the side. You can look at a share screen and me at the same time. Wait. Where are you? Okay. But some of that, Juliet, is just what happens.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just wondering
If there's anything way to control it. Yep. I think that's why I love this brush so much. Here, hold on. Let's get this in. Wait. Yeah. Oops. Why are you upside down? Okay, there we go. All right. So, Juliet, if you want to see me, go ahead and pin my click on my video, and you'll see all the videos will come up on the side, either in like a column or in like a little grid of squares. So find mine. So when you find mine, Leah Demo, click on it, and then click on the little box above that just has, so there's 4 boxes above this line. One has a little grid, one has 2 horizontal lines, one has 1 thick horizontal line, and one has a thin one. If you click on the thick one, you will just see my Leah Demo. And then you can take your cursor and stretch this out so it's a little bit bigger. Stretch the box out. So if you want to see me, wait, now of course it's not happening. There we go.
Anywhere.
Yeah. Just do your best to take a look at Leah Demo. To find Leah Demo. Where is my? Oh, here it is. So if you're laying down, like, I mean, if I'm trying to be a little, hello?
Yeah, nothing.
You got it? Yeah. Okay, sorry. So if you're, at one point I'll completely lose the thread and probably start talking about, I don't know, Napoleon in the 15th era or something. Here, hold on a second. So I'm just thinking about that question that you were asking. And I was thinking about, I mean, I have a lot of variation in my painting right now, but I will load up, I'll wait till the brush is dry, and I'll load up with more, a kind of a bit more paint. And test it to make sure, and less water. And then I can kind of, I don't know if you're seeing up here, I'm coming across with a stronger line here. I'll put it down here. It's easier for you to see. So I'm loading up more paint on my brush. I have water on my brush, but I'm loading up more paint on it. It's less watery, more painty. And then I'm sort of layering it in rather than scrubbing it in.
Yeah.
So that seems to be helping a little bit.
Yeah,
Is that helpful?
well, actually, what I did was I changed brushes. I was cautious at first. I thought the brush I was going to use would be too big, but now I realize it's not at all too big.
No, the bigger the better, actually. It's almost always the case because we can see the marks, and particularly in watercolor, because you can see every mark, right? It's a lot of the mark making is brushing, yeah. And then just loading more paint and a little bit less water to make it smoother. That seems my top layer is a bit smoother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else have a question? Anybody have a favorite watercolor brush they're using yet that you're getting into? Those
Maybe.
I haven't been doing watercolor long enough to have a favorite brush.
Has it only been one lesson?
This is my second. The
Yeah.
lemons were the first.
What's that style of brush you were talking about that's got the tapered? Because there's
Ends?
something.
I was looking to see what it's called. I mean, I could take a picture of it and tell you what the brand is. It doesn't have, it says here, Escoda, Perla. It's a Spanish brush, Escoda 1/2 inch Perla brush. Normally it would be something like a flat, a bright, a round, right? Like they have all these different names on it. This one does not have it. But damn, it is a nice brush. If you want, I'll just write down in the chat what it is.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because it'd be gorgeous, like totally. Whoops. Back down. Hey, my chat screen is running away from me. Oh, Janet left. Okay. It's called a 1/2 inch Skoda Perla synthetic brush. It says Synthetico. I'm not doing much watercolor these days except for teaching demos. So I'm kind of liking it because I have a little spot where I hide it where nobody can get to it. I don't think of picking it up and using it for something else. Yeah, so I've found that I can actually put the demo next to the share, but everybody has to figure out how to extend that, which gets tricky. But from the video perspective, it looks, when you're rewatching it later, it looks much better to do it that way. Jean, one of the things I'm finding that's helpful with the smoke is laying in color, like that dark color, and then taking my blankie and pulling it back out again.
Okay.
In this kind of soft. So it's the same color, but it's just a slightly lighter tone. And that seems to be, I think that's kind of working. probably won't get every light spot on this cup, depending on how dark you're going, how big you're going in your drawing. That's also okay. Getting just the little bits. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna pull this down. I'll pop back up in if anybody wants to. But if you want to, send your stuff across so we can take a look. I don't know if I told you guys, but I'm joining a team of university academics who are trying to create a better art, like online art class app for delivering art in classes. I know. I mean, WhatsApp really does work phenomenally well. But there are some other things that we think would be fun for them to do. Okay. Thanks. Whew. Oh, Diana, that's a really cute one on the Inktober thread. Little lion. Aw.
Thank you.
Aw.
Thank you. It's hard. I'm not so good at animals, but I thought it was the mountain lion one that was saved by the San Diego Zoo. No, that was saved by the firemen in San Diego from one of the fires, and it was almost dead like a month ago. And that's a picture from yesterday.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool.
Get it. Yes.
And I thought those baby teeth were so cute.
I know they are. They remind me of my little kitten who gets this ferocious kind of look on it, you know, face. Even though he's a little tiny kitten. He fell into my bathtub today when I was taking a bath and got totally soaked, probably for the first time in his life. He was just like, what?
Did he get scared?
Briefly, he got scared, but then he was just like licking himself to dry himself off. And he was like, oh, well, okay, this is what's happening. This is what's happening now, but yeah, completely soaked. He made a running leap to try and run at the curtain. I was in the bath and he just flew through the curtain and into the tub.
I once had a kitten that used to love to be in the bathtub in a little bucket and float
Oh,
around.
oh my God. Oh my God. I had to try that with him, but he's too crazy. He can't like sit still. Hello.
Our library.
Oops, sorry. Anybody experimenting with color a little bit on this exercise?
No,
Yeah, put on the cup.
Yeah. Oh, nice, Grant. Excellent. So Grant, the thing is, this is darker than this area. This is really light. Can you see it where I'm pointing?
Yeah, I haven't done that area yet.
Okay, all right, all right, all right. I would darken your coffee even more. Look at how black it is.
Cool.
Push those darks. Nice.
Thanks.
Fun. This is also a great exercise to do in oil. So we'll probably do it when we get to oil in February as well. Just because you can really play with the colors. Nice. Anybody else want to send me what they're working on?
Just did.
Okay. Where is it?
It sucks.
I don't see it. Try it again, Jean, if you don't like it. I haven't seen it yet, so I can't tell you, but try it again. I'm not seeing it.
Blockade art class?
Yep, not coming. That's weird.
Block 3, October 8th.
Yeah, send it over again. Okay, that's weird. I'm not seeing it. Maybe you don't want to send it.
My phone is like, oh, my phone is low on battery. Maybe that's the problem. My phone is like, that's too ugly. You're not sending that.
I said your phone is like, yep, absolutely, that's not happening.
Yeah, it probably
Not
doesn't have
sending
enough
it.
juice to send it.
Ah, here it is. It just came through.
Okay.
Oh my God, Jean, why do you hate it? It's not terrible at all.
The handle looks like it's about to break. And
Well, okay, but seriously, there's a lot of, this is, I think you are, oh, okay, so the mouth of the cup is too wide, right? The mouth of the cup is too wide. That is the only problem that you really have. So I'm going to review with you how to draw a cup, okay, and remind you. That's the only problem with this.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
see.
love it too. I love it too, Jessica. I agree. I was expecting much worse. But you do need to understand the thing that's happening. So here, I'm going to put up my phone again, and I'm going to remind you how the mouths of cups work.
it's not that it's too wide. It's just that
No, it's-
the table's tilted more than you expect.
No, it's way too wide. It's twice the size. Okay, all right. You're
I'm
just
looking
being.
at it from a much higher position
But
than you.
honey, this is the painting wise. This is great.
I do like my wood grain at the bottom.
I like a lot of it. It does, and even though it doesn't like exactly, you know, the mouth is too wide, it still actually really reads as a painting. You got to be easier on yourself. This is good. All right, but let me just so that we can review this, because I know I can see by the way you drew this, but you're not remembering the lesson about perspective. So let me take a moment to remind you about that. Okay, coming back in. So Jean, let's experiment with this for a second. Can you see Leah Demo on the side here? Hold on, I'm gonna turn my video on. Okay, so you get, the reason I like this is that, oh, dang it. Sorry, my phone just popped out of the little holder. The reason I like this is that if you can get it to work on yours, if you can make your screen large, it looks really great on the video. It's great for the teaching aspects of it. So basically you want to call up the videos that are on the side of the share and click on Leah Demo so it shows up at the top. And then click on the single thick bar so that that's all you have. So that's all you see. And then you can stretch that big.
Oh, I see.
You see what I'm saying? It's really neat. I had to do it yesterday because I didn't have a printout of something. So I had to work like this, and the video is awesome. So let me draw this out. So if you remember correctly, that's the halfway point of the cup, right? This is the back half of the cup, and this is the front half of the cup. And they are, if you were to look at this line over on the top of it, you would see that they are equal in size.
Yeah.
But this side is narrower, and this side is slightly wider. So you basically drew the cup as if this was happening, right?
Yeah.
All right. So just make that narrower. And the other thing I like to do is I can actually even kind of measure from here to here it's like from here to here, it's another 2 widths down to the bottom of the cup. Yeah. But no, that is stunningly beautiful. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it again. It's stunningly beautiful brushwork. Totally gorgeous.
Thank you.
Try it again. And this time I want you to get the cup right. Get the mouth of the cup right. This is the hard one for people to intellectually grab onto, this idea of the cup. That is why, because it's not what we're expecting to have happen. So because we don't expect it, we don't see it. And it's funny, like, you really have to know this rule or things get, muckety. They get muckety fast. They look weird. So lots of people make that mistake and then they don't know how to fix it because they don't know the rule.
Right.
So they don't know what the shape is really supposed to be. That's beautiful. You should try it with a different color.
I think I will.
Jean, I really want to commend you. I feel like ink and watercolor now are really expanding and exploding your brush skills. Would you not say that's true? Like really, they're becoming very sophisticated quickly.
Thank you.
It's exciting to watch. It's really exciting to watch. You're going to see an influence.
I agree.
Don't you think so? And I've really seen it in the last, actually really in the last 3 months. So I think what's happened is your drawing has gotten better. So you're really focusing on the brushwork more and the brushwork, and also I think it's just using these watery mediums. They're really, they just suit you naturally. It's exciting. I love seeing it. Yeah, thank you for confirming that, Jessica, because I really think it's true.
I think it's a really good painting.
Yeah, I like it too.
I mean, perspective issues aside, it's a
Right.
good painting. It shows really good handling.
A good hand on the brush, right? As we say in the business.
Yeah, it's just good paint handling. It's really, it was really good. I liked it.
In Armenia, my artist friends used to say he or she has a good hand.
Mm.
Right? If you were going to indicate
that's a nice phrase.
Isn't that a nice phrase? I've always really loved it. They've got a good hand. Yeah, Jean, you're showing a good hand with the brush. And Grant, I like what's happening here with you in these mediums as well.
Oh,
I feel like you've worked, what I feel like is the work that you've put in, once again, it's the work that you've put in with your drawing, I think has given you the confidence to move forward with painting. Do you know what I'm saying? Would you agree that's true? Oh, he's sleepy.
Yeah, I think I'm dragging ass today. Yeah, yeah, I think that's true. I mean, I think it's all, all the painting in other mediums as well. It's kind of, I don't know. I kind of have a little better feeling of how paint moves on a brush, and the watercolor feels kind of neat and different, and a little, it's less commitment than the other, than oil or something.
That's
really?
true.
I think it's the opposite.
Well, it depends, Jessica, on how you think about it. I agree with you. I mean, watercolor requires a precision, and once you put a stroke down, but if you start light enough, you can kind of layer up, and fun things happen with the texture because of the wateriness,
Yeah, but you can never like in oil, if you really screw it up, I'm painting cat number 3 and I screwed up the shape of her eye. But what I did was but it's okay, because what I ended up doing was just negative spacing out and erasing the eye back to the shape that it needs to be, but you can't do that with watercolor.
Right. You really can't. Diana, that's looking nice, by the way. Super nice. Super.
It looks sunny.
It looks sunny. Yeah, you're capturing the light. You know what this is reminding me of a little bit in your color combos? It's reminding me a little bit more of the Tesla piece. Yeah. And the sort of lightness and pinknesses, you know what I mean, of the skin tone are because and that it's sunny. And that it's sunny and light. That's like really. Very nice, you guys. Juliet, you want to send anything through? Can we take a look? Don't have to. Do you want to send anything through? Anybody else want to send anything through?
Is it 8 o'clock already?
No. Close. I'm not going to put pressure on you to do it. Some people feel shy about it. I always think it's kind of helpful to see what other people are doing, but I get it if you don't want to. Lana, you can send it through as well if you want. Don't have to.
So anybody who's in the Times Square office, I don't know if you've been getting notes about going back and getting your stuff and cleaning your desks off.
Yeah.
But if
Eugene,
you go
nice.
in, please be aware that they've
Nice.
shut off floor access on all of the IDs, which is why I was late today, because Janet's favorite security guard didn't know what to do.
Right.
Even though he was nice to me for once. He didn't know what to do and it took forever. And they will security escort you to your desk to get your stuff.
Right.
Oh my God.
By the
None of
way,
your badges
Juliet,
work.
this is beautiful.
But
And Eugene, really great. So the only thing I would say, Eugene, is that right now your background, your wall, and your floor, your table are the same value, and that's not what's happening. Look at how much darker it is here, Eugene, than it is down here. So you need to really push that value darker. This has to be much darker. I would mix burnt umber with blue to get a dark, and get this area really dark. Juliet, that's beautiful. Totally beautiful. Good job. I appreciate your drawing skills, Juliet. You know, I keep bringing up drawing. I guess it comes to the fore in watercolor.
Your line across the middle was the revelation for me.
Right. Nobody knows that. Nobody. You would never know that. You would think one would think that you divide things in half, right? Right. But in reality, yeah, it's we've talked about this in this class before. And actually, if you want to see something really trippy, here, I'm going to stop the share for just a second and turn on my video. If you want to see something really trippy, on my video, come on, I'm going to turn it on. Oh, that's Juliet here. Wait, where am I? I'll get into gallery view. So I have a cup here, and I'm going to put a pencil across the very middle of the cup. That's the very middle of the cup. Look at that. If you come and you look at it, it's across the middle of the cup. But if you look at it from this angle, this side is so much teenier looking than this side. Isn't that crazy? It always wigs people out. So that's the kind of thing where you just have to know it. If you don't know it, you're not going to get it right. If you don't know the rule, you're going to see it wrong. That is perspective for you, basically. Perspective is the thing that, like, if you don't know the rule, if you don't understand how 3 dimensions translates to 2, then you're screwed, because you can't imagine, like your left brain can't imagine how it's supposed to look, how it's supposed to work. There's an actual translation.
I love perspective.
It is great. It's a whole language. And it's a mystery, and it boggles the mind. All of those other things.
I think it's still too big.
Let's see.
Before
yeah, most likely I'm gonna say even before looking, I'm gonna tell you yes. Probably. Ah, there she comes. Scary blockhead. This is the floof that likes to have the unicorn on its head, horn on its head.
Yes.
This floof likes his. Do you guys remember Jill, the model who posed?
Yeah.
Jill calls her house of floof, and all her cats are called floofs. They're floofs. Look at this floof, that floof. It's really cute.
Actually, one of her nicknames is Snuggle Floof.
She is a snuggle
Snuggle
floof.
floof.
She is a snuggle
Yeah.
floof. Look at that. Because she will have a thing on her head. Oh my God, what Rebecca is doing. Rebecca Dinsmore, who I was talking about before, is doing in Inktober is crazy. I kind of want to share it across this thread. I think I'm going to. So this is this woman that we were talking about. Her voice is like insane. It's crazy. Let me see if I can
That's
get it over to you
fantastic.
guys to see what she did. Here, hold on. Check
I'm
it.
looking at it. It's fantastic.
I know. And this is the amazing thing, you know, this is the thing about, here it is. So this is Rebecca, the person who had the aneurysm and now lives with a brain tumor she calls Harold.
Oh my God, this is so fantastic.
Who
I love it.
never painted or drew before 6 months ago.
Wow.
And just to show you that, I mean, this is her crazy mind, you know, that wonderful voice just coming out. But her
love it.
skills as I'm going to show you, I'll go back and find the one. I'll go back and find the cup that she did. She did this cup in ink.
She's doing fun work.
She is really able to handle any type of media. She really is good. And I, you know, because she has a brain tumor named Harold and all of that, I'm like, and because she never did it before, I treat her a little bit more special because she's like, I've just never seen anything like it. She's got to be in her 50s, maybe early 60s.
So she's actually dealing with a brain tumor now?
Yes.
Oh.
But it isn't growing. She said it's like been kind of shrinking. So.
Oh, good.
I know, isn't it crazy? Her Insta is, let me tell you, I'll tell you in a second.
She's really good.
She's amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
for somebody, and honestly, never had any drawing or painting experience at all before 6 months ago. Let's
awesome.
see. I know, she's really phenomenal. She's quiet, and she's a very sweet, you know, quiet person. She's easy to overlook in a crowd because she's quiet. Reb D40, REBD40.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, you'll see all the things that she's done. She's phenomenal.
Yeah, I have to see it. She's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, and then look at all the other things she does. Look at how she did Ida B. Wells. You'll be like, your mind will be blown in charcoal.
Oh,
your mind will be
her
blown.
cup is really good. Look at her
It's
cup.
fucking great. That's what I've been trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. She's really, really good. I mean, she's never drawn and never painted before. And maybe she's been with me a little. Maybe it's been 8 months or a year. But it hasn't been a full year yet.
That's not fair.
Well, she does have a brain tumor named Harold. So that might be putting pressure on the thing. But she said really the thing was the aneurysm or what, you know, whatever it was, kind of pushed, like once that happened, it's like something unlocked in her brain. She said all she could see was color and light. And so you can see this in these 2 lines of work that she's doing. With me on Sundays, she doesn't do this kind of stuff. You know, she's doing
Don't you think
representative.
that like the side effect of quote unquote illness for everybody should be turning them into an artist?
Yeah, that'd be great. That would be great.
This is fucking incredible.
I know, it's incredible. Did you look at the Ida B. Wells? Did you look at Ida B. Wells?
I'm looking at her cat.
The side effect of being in COVID
Goldfish.
quarantine should be turning us into great artists.
Did you
Well,
see
that
this
the side effect
goldfish?
of that is happening, Jean. That is totally happening. You all are way better than you were. Like, and I'm not saying you were bad before. I'm just saying everybody is better than they were before February.
She's really good.
I know, right? I know.
Did you see the goldfish?
Yeah. I walked her. Look, she didn't know how to paint a goldfish. I showed her. That is a demo.
I don't see Ida B. Wells.
Oh, did she not post Ida B. Wells?
I don't think so.
Oh my God, her Ida B. Wells charcoal drawing was like exquisite. It was exquisite. I'll have to find it somewhere.
Yeah, sorry, I listening to her Insta. What is it?
REBD, REBD 40, 40, REBD 40. This is just a student of mine who started coming to classes about 6-8 months ago. And she's a sweet, sweet, quiet person, easy to overlook in a room. And she's phenomenal. She's just phenomenal. I mean, she really, for someone who's had no experience at all, she pushes all ends of the spectrum.
It's not fair.
Really tremendously. Well, Harold. So I'll say. Okay. Harold might be putting an impact on things. So anyway, but I just really find her fascinating because there's literally nothing before that. Nothing before that. She didn't do anything. She said, I'm her only teacher. Now she's taking other classes with other people, you know, which is good. But like literally no lessons at all. Never did it.
You're a magic teacher, Leah. It's all about you.
I have a certain kind of student I really like to work with. And it is definitely the student that has it in them and it wants to come out. One of my other favorite students is Melissa, who's 84, who didn't start taking lessons.
She did the portrait.
She did that portrait. Unbelievable. She's the same. Melissa is the same. She paints like a fiend. Like she is a fiendish painter. She just paints and paints and she's gotten so good. It's crazy. These poor ladies, I'm here talking about all their inner business, their age, their illnesses, but
it's okay because we want to love them.
Right. And it's hard not to. And it's hard not to see people who have not had the training, that how they respond to the training. You know, like there's nothing in it, like it's pretty extraordinary. And I often think you're right, it's an illness that puts that
turns you into an artist.
In Melissa's case, she's old, right? So how much time does she have left? 83? She could die tomorrow. She could, I mean, truthfully, all of us could die tomorrow, but you know, I mean, when you're 83, you're like, how many years? You could have another 20 years. You could have another 5. You could have another 6 months. You don't really know. So like for her, it's more urgent that it come out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes, and somehow, and I'm not saying Rebecca's in any, you know, physical danger now. I think she's actually in pretty good shape, but I think there's something about the urgency of a medical situation that can push that forward. Sure, and that is not a purely physical thing. That's a spiritual thing. That's a soulful thing. Yeah. That's something wanting to be expressed and coming out.
It's
some people call it soul, right? Some people call it talent. I don't like to think about it that way. I like to think about it like soul, like almost, you know, when you're really in flow, you will not feel like you're painting at all. You will feel like somebody else is like painting through you.
Because it's interdimensional, if you want to be really weird about it.
Yes, it is.
It's true though.
We're getting into all the weird stuff.
Oh, I'm loving it. I love weird shit. I'm probably the weirdest person that I know, and that's really saying something.
We missed you on Monday at the show, Jessica. We realized that perhaps you did not get the email because you're at Refinitiv. Yes.
I did not.
Yes.
Get anything. Sorry. There was no communication. I would not have missed that.
I know. Jean, it was amazing, wasn't it, Diana?
Tell me about it. Oh no, I want to hear all about it.
And we showed your work.
I have to tell you how much I love those kitty topiaries.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Those are so cool. I love them.
Thanks. You know, the first one I did was in 2013. It was a few months after my cat died. And I got this idea. And I told it to my friend. I said, I'm going to start painting topiary cats. And she looked at me.
Yeah, that's all
like,
you, girl.
I turned into an alien. And I didn't think it was weird because this is the crap in my head, right? And I don't really think it's that strange because I'm used to myself. And she looked at me like I turned into an alien, and she like said, that is so weird. Why would you do that? It's so weird. That's like the weirdest thing I've ever heard. And like, I love them. I love my topiary cats.
They are pretty great. And there's nobody, there's nothing like them.
Do you know what I got? I got bathtub crayons so that I can draw on my bath. And I drew topiary cats in my shower.
Love it. Okay, I sent it to you. I think I got it right, Leah.
Yeah, Jane, yes, you did, yes, 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 yes. And now I want to see it painted as well as you painted that other one.
I want to hear about the show. I'm like bummed I missed it.
It was really great. We showed your work extensively. Lots of oohing and eyeing. It was like a cocktail party. Yeah, it was a virtual Zoom party. And then we realized, you know, Reuters sent out stuff, and then we realized afterwards, oh my God, probably nobody invited Lana and just Refinitiv people. So next time we'll remember that. I mean, nobody, it's funny, it went everywhere in the company. So we just assumed everybody got it. And then later we went, wait a minute, why is Jessica not here? I'm sorry, honey. I totally thought I thought you had been told. But people loved your work, and there was lots of comments about it. Like, ooh, I actually start the.
You can still see most everything. You can see everything.
Yeah, here we'll show it. I'm gonna.
Was it recorded?
The show isn't recorded, but you know you've seen the show itself, right?
No, I haven't gotten anything.
Oh, girl!
The only thing that I have gotten about the show is submit your work.
Oh
That's
my
the
God!
only thing I've heard
All right,
about
here
it.
we're gonna fix this right now. We're fixing this right now. Hang on.
I'm sad. I wanted to go to the show. I was going to ask you about it too, because I thought it was maybe the middle of October. And I meant to ask you, like, when is the show? Oh.
I'm so sorry. But anyway, you're going to see the show now. We're going to have a little version of the show right here.
Hi to my friends.
Hello, Kitty. Hi, Julia. Hi, Julia. All right. Here it is, Jessica, the show.
Oh.
The Reuters student show. Here. Isn't this awesome? So
yeah.
So it's here, hold on. Trying to get the things out here. So
how many people attended?
On day one, so we had one sort of in the New York time zone on Monday. There was about 15 people, and then 10 people, 12 people. And then day two, which was Europe and India, we had like 20. It was awesome.
Wow.
So check this out. So you are in everything, but you're particularly featured in this gallery.
Oh, I like to be a secret. That's fun. Oh God, you put that terrible painting up.
I love this one. I kept trying to switch it out.
Oh, it's
and
wonderful, Jessica.
I loved it. I kept trying to switch it out and put other things in. So anyways, I showed everyone.
It's a great painting.
All of this.
Oh, I love being secret. That's fun.
Yes. So we basically, I'll show you the whole show, but you were the start.
Oh, cool.
So we talked a bit about the different things that you did. I talked about the concept of vocation, right? Vocation, and I talked about what those friends. We actually talked about your friends and what they did, what they invited you to the show. So I said I talked about the effing truck here. I said that you often went out on location. I took your beach series and I put them in pandemic mood, so they're not here.
Oh, that's fine.
Is all. So then we moved to.
Oh, that's a good painting too. Look at that.
That's Marianne. So Marianne did a whole series called Weathermen.
This is on your site, right? I'm gonna have to go through the whole thing.
Yep. And there are interviews, and I mean, check this out. Okay, so here, hang on. Let me move this.
Oh.
Here, hold on. Yeah. So anyway, we talked about you quite significantly. Here it is.
I had no idea.
We have a bunch of interviews with people about why they like the program.
Oh, the audio is not coming through, but I'm going to look at it on your website.
Isn't that neat? It was really
yes.
Great. So anyway, Reuters Secret Artists are the few who were kind of beyond we honored the beginners, and we also wanted to honor the advanced artists. So you are there, Diana is there, Reg is there, Marianne was there, Janet is there. Who else was there? Was that it? I think that might be it. Natalia was there as well. Had a great interview with
Oh.
Reg on Black Lives Matter. Absolutely check out this one.
I'm gonna look at all of it.
Yeah, look, you'll listen to all of it. There's like 3 interviews on each page. So you
Can
just
I
keep-
share the link?
Yeah, of course. It's totally public.
I can still be a
So-
Reuters secret artist even though I'm Refinitivian now. I
Yeah,
started
yeah.
at Reuters though. I started at Reuters. That's
There
my
you go.
Reuters hired me.
You're in the Reuters family.
You're in the Reuters family. So is
Oh,
Lana.
once
So is
you're
Eugene.
Reuterized, it's forever.
That's the second time I've heard Reuterize, the word
Yeah,
Reuterized.
you're Reuterized. I still like to this day will say Reuters instrument code on mistake. It's like there are certain things like it's like you're imprinted with Reuters and it just stays with you. It's really bizarre. Oh, well, thank you. I'm gonna
you're
look at
welcome.
the show.
Pass it
It's so
around. It's
exciting.
going to be up for a while.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm very
Thanks for having
basely-
me in it.
Oh my God, of course. Could not.
Send me the link next time there's a show.
I thought you had been sent the link. That is the tragedy
No one told
of it
me
all.
anything.
I mean, if we could maybe get this out, we could maybe get Reuters, Refinitiv to join in the cost sharing, and then we could open it up to all your colleagues.
I gotta tell you,
Mhm.
they're so chaotic right now because of the LSEG merger.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Nobody's doing anything. It's really ridiculous. So, I think it would be a good thing to do when things settle down. I can bring it up to Mary Burke again. And maybe if I'm really brave, Alex Fergus, but they're like people who report to David Craig. So
Right.
I get a little nervous. But I mean, I would love
Nice
for
grant.
Refinitiv to be there and
Beautiful.
share and everything because it can help people.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it would be great. And next year, it's going to be very cheap for companies to go in and do it. So it's not remotely the cost that Reuters was taking on its own. So
Did you find other participants?
what?
Did you find other participants?
Lady, I'm getting through Open Studios first, then I'll start finding other participants. I have to get through this week and survive it. Yes, I'll get there. Actually, I realized that Janet Roberts' husband's worked for Bloomberg too, so I'm going to ask him to do research into the whole Bloomberg thing. Yeah, I think I will be able to find people. What I wanted to do is get the show up, the student show and the interviews, and get through this week because I have a show on Saturday and a show on Friday. So I am kind of losing my mind over here right now, trying to get ready for those. But my job next week is to create I'd like to use those student shows and interviews to show companies what is possible. So really you're getting turned into marketing.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, my hope
You
is
deserve it.
right. And I think Refinitiv could, and what I've done is I've lowered the price for the classes for companies. So what will happen is next year, other companies will join Reuters
Yeah.
at the same time.
I think it would be really an awesome thing. I would love for Refinitiv to participate.
Yeah. So I think it's
I
really
just think
possible.
nobody is doing anything right now, especially with money because of LSEG, and they're like going in and auditing and apparently being insane.
Yeah, nobody's
So,
really planning beyond the quarter. So it's so I have financing. So really, if a company wants to, so basically, any company that participates in classes next year, I'm going to offer 2 a week, kind of the same way that I've been doing it, and companies will pay $3,700 a year if they want all their employees to be able to participate in those, or $1,200 a quarter, or $350 a month. So
that's
you have
nothing.
but I can fit a lot more people. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to. It's going to be better for me,
But
and
for
better
a
for you guys.
company, that's like
That's nothing.
a really
know.
low amount. Yeah.
I know. I mean, you know how much
It's nothing.
Reuters paid $20,000 for these classes this year.
Wow.
So that's why, so Reg was really happy. I said, I'm just going to take the burden off you, and trust me, I'm going to you're not going to get to have these classes exclusively for you anymore, but I promise you, your employees will be able to get them. And I think, so yes, when I get a package together, I'll send it to you, because it's very reasonably priced and companies can come in and out. I'm going to keep the classes at 30. So if more than 30 people, only 30 people can come in on any class. So there's no, so it doesn't get huge. And of course, anybody can look at the recordings afterwards. So so I think it's going to be easier for somebody like Refinitiv or even Westlaw to come in, because it's going to be much cheaper. It's going to be cheaper. There's a cost sharing. And then if you notice, this is a small class. How many people are here? There's 7 people here. We have room for another 20.
Sure.
We totally have. And it would still be, in fact, it wouldn't change the dynamic very much at all.
We
As
have
long as you promise to pay more
we have
attention.
time to paint when 20 people are chatting.
I mean, we just turn them off, right? Like, I mean, my yoga teacher just shuts us all up, right? So it just puts us on mute. I have one button here. I could put everybody on mute. So I don't do it because these classes are so small.
And we are so fun too.
Yeah, yes.
We are.
You're cool. Very fun. You're very fun. So yes,
cool.
this has been fun. But what I knew was Reuters wasn't going to do that again. They weren't going to cough up 20 grand again. It wasn't going to happen. So I had to figure out some way to make these classes available and have me not lose money. So it may be, I mean, it's now on it for me to sell these to other people, but I don't think it'll be hard. Yeah.
Well, in a very indirect way, Refinitiv has financed it.
Right. There you go.
We have.
So now they get to finance me.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyways, I'll let you, as soon as I get that piece put together, Jessica, I just, like I said, I have to get through this show this weekend.
Yeah.
I had to get these shows ready. That actually took quite a bit of time to get all that stuff up on the website. And then we had to actually do the shows. And then we had, and then I'm teaching 7 classes this week. So it's just a lot. And then I have these 2 shows. So I have to get those done. And then next week I will put up a page with prices and a plan. There is a whole.
That'll be great. And you're painting.
No,
you're
I'm not
painting.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yes. I am
painting too.
Painting. Well, yeah.
I know you keep posting stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is my time of year to bust. I have to. Because now I have people who are used to, I have a number of patrons that are used to me releasing a collection in the fall. So I'm getting that ready. And then I have a list of commissions. So those are all, I'm finishing them like kind of one. I sort of stack them up month by month. I book in a couple each month so I can get them done. And then Christmas is here. So it's crazy, like people, and then I have my regular set of stuff that needs to be stocked in different galleries and different stores. So this is the time. Yeah, I was telling Janet, for me, this is like the busy, these 2-3 weeks are the busiest weeks of the year. Yeah. If I'm teaching online, it's not hard. I mean, I'm looking at one of my commissions right now, trying to figure out what to do with it. So, it's never like I'm not in flow. I'm here to help you guys if you need me, but you guys don't need my help that much.
Leah.
Yeah.
I saw a comment in an oil painting group on Facebook this week about somebody was asking about painting thin lines. And the answer was amazing. And so I bought, I don't know if I can't see my own video, so I don't know if I bought the most funnest brushes ever off of Amazon. And the whole thing was like $9 for all of them. And they're glittery.
Look at those. They're like pens.
They're nail art brushes. Look how, I don't know if you can see it, but they're cheaper. Look how teeny.
Right, because nail art brushes are teeny tiny. You have to do little tiny, it's like doing a little miniature painting on a nail.
Here we go. Here we can see them. Look at that. And they're cheaper than the ones you would get in the art store. And they'll hold up. They'll hold up because they have to hold up to acetone, which is a stronger solvent than mineral spirits.
Wow.
So you want your cheap micro mini brushes? look up nail art brushes on Amazon. You can get, I got like 1, 2, 3, 4. I got like 5 of them for $8.
That's awesome.
And they're glittery.
And they're glittery. All right, everybody, send in your last set so we can see how you're doing. Let me see the last set because we're at the end here.
Changing, so.
I know you could be in the middle of it. It's okay if you're in the middle of your drawing, if you're in the middle of your painting, it's all great. Juliet, sorry, this was a real hanging loose kind of class. We're not normally so gaggy and gossipy.
It's true.
But today it's that way.
We come for the painting and stay for the gossip.
We stay right, exactly. Anyway, you're welcome to jump in if you want to. You don't have to.
Where did Janet go? Isn't she here?
Oh, she's on
There,
vacation.
she jumped off.
Oh, Jean. Yep. Jean, you just keep on going, honey. Oh, Diana, lovely.
Good stuff.
Oh, Juliet. Yes. Lana, nice. Very nice. Juliet, beautiful color. I can see that the bigger brush really helped.
Yeah.
That was
It's
it.
fun to see everybody's work.
It really is wonderful.
Thank you, Leah.
Thank you, guys. We'll see. There's a ink class tomorrow at 11:30 your time. All of you who are on the East Coast. And then there's a beginning drawing class where we're just going to do a fun. It'll probably be an hour, maybe 90 minutes, where we draw upside down. So we are not going to be upside down. Our drawing is going to be upside down. So if you want to join that, please feel free. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next week.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Great work, everybody. Really great work. Very good. Proud here. Very proud.
Bye-bye.
Bye.